Hello YouTube, Oliver here from Caravan Cubs, and I'm going to show you how to use a motor mover and loads of helpful tips and tricks. Stay tuned till the end where I've got a bonus tip which is really helpful. So set the motor mover, put the handbrake up, and then you're going to turn that so the arrow is facing that way. Now you can use it with the same contraction that you do with the legs. However, I'll show you what I use to make it a hell of a lot easier. Don't move it, it's already engaged. So I'm just gonna disengage it and engage it just to show you how I personally do it. It should get stiff about here and then it just loosens up about there. I'm using a breaker bar. This one's House Advanced, so it's quite pricey. You can get a cheaper one on an extension and then on a 19mm socket. Gives you a lot more leverage and makes life a lot easier. Once both sides are locked in, and you check that the arrow is in the right location, you can then release the handbrake and it shouldn't move. Next tip is with the jockey wheel. Now if I pull forward on this, the Caravan's going to go towards me slightly before it corrects itself with the jockey wheel. So if you instantly need it to go in a direction, move the jockey wheel. Before you get a motor mover, ensure that you've got the correct battery fitted. This is a Class C, and if you use, and this battery was fitted in our Caravan when we bought it, and it soon failed, bulged out, and essentially what you need is a Class A or a Class B if you want a motor mover. Next tip is always carry spare batteries for your motor mover, just because you don't want to get caught out. Make sure the steadies are up. Now looking at Caravan, I've got loads of space this side, which is really good, and not too much space that side, which is fine, because I'm going to take it out of the drive and it's a slight hill. Now the back end of the Caravan's going to swing out because all the steering is done via the middle. Yeah, very similar to a tracked vehicle. So you've always got to bear in mind that the back is going to swing out and the front is going to cut the corner. Next tip is orientate your control so it's facing the same way as the Caravan. Ours is actually shaped like Caravan, which is helpful. And yeah, that will just mean that when you're using the buttons, it just makes life a bit easier. To activate the motor mover, you're just going to press on this twice and you'll hear that the motor's engaged slightly and you'll get a red light. Motor movers last about 15 metres on a slight hill, slightly further that hill on a fully charged battery. So just make sure that you're not using this for a prolonged period of time because you'll just drain the battery. As all the steering comes from the middle of the Caravan, it's important to keep moving left and right to see both sides of the Caravan, or have someone at the back just to keep an eye on it. Also, as you can see here, every time you put a demand on and let go of that demand on the controls, the Caravan does rock slightly, which is fine, but if you're next to a fence post like this, you've just got to be aware. I did purposely see how close I could get to the camera, and it was really, really close, and as you can see, that wobble a bit easier there. As you can see, the Caravan's now there, so it's done quite a big loop with a lot of steering demands. The battery is starting to die, as you can start to hear it dying, and it starts to judder a little bit more. Now I've got two more final really important tips. Next tip is if you're going up a slightly, well, it's a lowered curve, but it's still fairly aggressive, is if one wheel hits there and the next wheel hasn't quite hit it, what will naturally happen is it will start to go the path of least resistance, which might square you away in this case, but then you've got to be careful of other bits there. So bear that in mind. You may have to put an additional steering demand in just to get over this, and it can be a bit of a nightmare. Just take your time, make sure you're walking left and right to check the Caravan. Tip is to invest in a solar panel, so when your Caravan is in storage, you've always got full battery for your motor mover. I've got one final tip actually, and it's just learn to reverse. Don't always rely on the motor mover because sometimes it can break and sometimes your battery may be flat or your motor might break, so never ever rely on it. So if you do struggle with towing, if you get to an empty field, then please practice just a couple of maneuvers just to get good at it. I only really use it if I want to get it really snug in the drive. I never ever rely on it. Anyway, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Please make sure you like and subscribe for more Caravan budget tips. We're a family of 6 and we're about to go on a road trip, so see you on the next one.